So next up, podcast listeners, we have Go Woke or Go Broke. That's right, Go Woke or Go Broke. This segment is a Stanford professor, as in Stanford University in California. He blames whiteness for his opposition. He blames whiteness for there even being opposition to the Stanford school mask mandates. He says, quote, white people are GOP. So a Stanford professor blames whiteness for opposition to Stanford University's mask mandate. And so here's the article. You gotta listen to this. This is just incredible. A Stanford University professor, by the way, Stanford University costs a fortune to go to, and it's highly selective, right? It's only America's elite that get to go there. And imagine going to a university where a professor actually says this, and he's supposed to be teaching you about critical thinking skills. Remember, critical thinking skills are those skills that you learn in college that teach you how to think in a way that is critical so that you never really accept what any argument is, but you listen to all the arguments together and read them and sift through them, at which point you come to a truth. So a critical thinker listens to all sides and then comes to a truth. Well, this guy is like, oh no, there's only one truth. And my truth is, since I'm the professor, that it's the white people that don't want to wear masks. So a Stanford University professor went on a Twitter tirade targeting those who oppose the school's mask mandates, saying that people's whiteness makes them believe they are above government action. Make no mistake, this crazy opposition to mask wearing that is leading folks, read white people, to act violently at school board meetings and council meetings and everywhere else, yeah, you can't disconnect it from whiteness. And discussions that don't acknowledge this are incomplete, said Stanford University political science professor Hakeem Jefferson on Twitter. Jefferson, whose Twitter bio states, race is the central organizing feature of American politics. So this professor, whose Twitter bio states, quote, race is the central organizing feature of American politics, argued that while masks are uncomfortable for all people, it is only white people who believe they are above government action. Quote, ain't like masks are comfortable for non-white people, but you don't see a bunch of black folks storming meetings, Jefferson said. And it's not just because these white folks are GOP. It's because they're white and believe whiteness confers upon them a kind of power that places them above government action. Jefferson also blamed whiteness for the January 6th Capitol riot, claiming that it was race that was driving that behavior. It's like my reaction to January 6th, Jefferson said. You don't have to be an expert in identity to know that whiteness is driving the behavior. The crowds are overwhelmingly white. You think this just randomly happened? Nah, whiteness be working overtime. Like we say in the South, the devil is busy. Jefferson later tweeted about a student who questioned his belief that whiteness was behind the January 6th riot, with the student noting that other racial groups were present at the rally. So a student, I'm not sure if you caught that, podcast listeners, a student of this professor's questioned the professor that whiteness was behind the January 6th riot. The student was like, I don't think that's so, because there were all kinds of racial groups that were present at the rally. And the professor responded by saying that whiteness wasn't only about skin color, instead arguing that whiteness is an ideology. I'm sorry. Pull your children out of Stanford right now. Or certainly pull them out of this class. Don't, just give this professor no students. Don't waste your time. He's an idiot. He's a racist, obviously, because he judges people by the way they look. He doesn't believe in diversity of thought. Obviously, we can clearly see that from his comments. But I just think it's interesting. Another comment that he made, I just want to talk about that very briefly, this professor. And that comment is, he said that white people think that they are above government action. And I really think that This is why we have so many professors. This is exemplary of so many professors who don't understand America's founding and America's Constitution and the Bill of Rights. It's actually uniquely American to question the government. It is uniquely American to oppose government action and to disagree with what the government is doing. It is uniquely American to say that I want to see all of the data and all of the science, and I want to see it without politics involved before I decide whether I'm going to wear a mask or whether I want to get a third vaccine shot, or I want to argue with the government about its spending and believe that it's inflationary and it's going to destroy the country and it's going to devalue the dollar. I mean, we're allowed, of course, to disagree with the government. It's what makes us Americans. It is unique to our Constitution and to our Bill of Rights. And yet this professor is like, well, the only people that question the government are people that are white. I mean, what an idiot on so many planes, right? I mean, he's an idiot because it's not true. He's an idiot because it's uniquely American to criticize the government. And he's an idiot because he only sees people based on the way they look. And then he's an idiot because he says that whiteness is not the way you look. It's an ideology. So way to go, Stanford, for really, hiring the best and the brightest to teach the children. I mean, it's really all about the children, of course.